Hello and welcome to today's spin practice. So I start by warming up mainly my spirals. So here I go working on the left leg, raising the right leg, then at the end of the barrier changing the leg around to ensure that I have the correct position on both sides. Once I do this, then I move on to the next spiral. So this one is sitting down with the right leg in front until I get to the end of the barrier, and then I swap over the legs that I'm using just to really warm up both sides, ensure that I feel the balance, the center of gravity, and really get comfortable in this sit position when doing the spins. Then I move into bringing the leg up over the head. So this is the right side that I'm stretching just to ensure the movement, because one of the spins that I'm going to be doing is using this leg. This is something that I haven't worked on before. I never worked on when I was a child, so it's something new for me, is trying to get this combination spin of bringing the leg from this down position all the way up. This is not the way that you would do it in this spin, but it just helps to warm up the legs that you're using, because you're really bringing it from down to up, and then I'm just doing it vice versa, so going from up to down, to really just get the legs used to this movement of using this leg strength on the balancing leg. So this one is the left leg, just to ensure that it's working properly, that you have enough strength to bring yourself up or down depending on what you're doing. And yeah, it just helps to strengthen the position and ensure that you're doing it correctly. Then moving on, I warm up my Biellmann catch. I'm not sure if I'm going to use a Biellmann during this practice, but sometimes it's helpful just to make sure that all the parts are stretched out, whether that's your camel, whether that's your sit spin, whether that's for a layback or Biellmann or light catch. I like to do all the spirals because I feel like sometimes we neglect doing them in general because we don't put it as part of our practice. So now I'm just warming up back scratch spin just to get used to the movement, feel my center of gravity, and yeah, just to feel into this. This is part of the warm-up phase as well, doing back scratch, doing front spin, whatever you call it, just to feel where your body is, where your center of gravity is, to ensure you get enough speed, feeling the movements from your blade and from the ice. So then just continuing this, and this time starting a little bit lower to get more of your center point, using your arms in a different way, and yeah, just feeling into it, into the spin and into the movement, just to get warmed up and ready. So the next spin I do is going straight into sit spin, ensuring that your chest is up over your thigh, your arms are out towards your foot, and just holding that position, warming up your thighs, bringing it up into an upright spin and coming out of it from there. It just helps to feel into the center of gravity, but also into the leg movement. This time then doing again the sit spin, the same method as before, but this time going into back sit spin as we warmed up the back spin. As you see, I lose a bit of momentum on the back spin, and it's just ensuring that you're able to get that back when you come up, because you get more points in competitions when you're able to get more speed after slowing down. So the next one I go into a cannonball spin or whatever you call it, and into a back scratch spin, back sit and upright, and again pulling out of it. And then again, it's just feeling into that, feeling into the movement. Then this time I go into camel spin, as we've already warmed up our spiral, and then straight into normal sit spin with the chest up and over in front of the legs, and then into back sit spin. As you can see, I need to work more on the back sit spin to get a little bit lower. Everyone is going to have the sides that they find easier and harder, and it is quite natural that the back sit is more difficult. So it's just working on this. So again, doing the camel spin into this time the cannonball spin or whatever you call it, and then into backspin. This transition I find a bit more difficult, like going from the cannonball into the back sit, because of the movements. So this is something I'm working on as well. So then I work on doing this again because I really feel like I could have done a better attempt. So doing the camel spin into bomb spin, then into backspin, failing for that backspin, and then upright. I sometimes feel like it's so useful to take videos of your practice so that you can see what you're doing. I can see now that the edge wasn't that great, so it's something that I can work on afterwards. This time I decided to do a sit into a change and bring it up into this Y shape. So this is something I have just recently started. My coach recommended to try it. So it's quite difficult for me, this transition, but I feel like it's quite fun to practice these things that you're not used to be able to do. You've never tried before. Here, the second attempt is a lot better already, and it just takes some time, takes some practice. So I would really say that don't feel like you can't do something just because you never tried. Try it, see how your body feels. This time going from the camel into the sit, into the back sit, and bringing it up. Again, harder transition because I don't have as much speed when I'm moving from the camel into the sit, into the back sit. But again, it's just practice. So this time trying again. Camel into, this time I try it with the bomb just to see, but it's not very successful because as you can see, my transition is not as stable when I move on to the other leg directly from this position. So it will take time. It's not going to be something you can do straight away. If you can, then well done, it's great. But yeah, it does take a few attempts, so I try again. From the camel sit, back sit, and bringing it all the way up, and this time it is more successful. So you can really see how you just need to practice a few more times for your body to get used to the center of gravity, the balance that you need. And yeah, this time I decide to make it a little bit harder. I go into the camel spin and then I catch, and then from here going down into a sit. This is a very hard transition at the beginning that I worked on, then into a back, and then bringing it up, and I lose a lot of speed here, but it was my first attempt ever trying it in this transition. So I do feel like it can be very fun just to see how you get on. It can be better than what you expect. This time I tried just going straight into the camel, into the sit, and then bringing the catch up from behind. I've been working on this recently as well. Then from this I tried to do a back sit spin, which is super difficult. That was the first time I tried to do it, and as you see I wasn't very successful, but it's still worth to see how you get on. So I decided to try again. Camel into sit, back into the catch, coming up. You do lose a lot of speed, and then trying to go into the sit spin, the back sit, is very difficult. But it was just trying. This time I bring the leg up, so it is more successful than the first attempt. So I try one more time just for the fun of it. Camel, down into the sit spin, bringing the leg behind to catch, to try and not lose too much momentum. So this one has more rotations, or it's a little bit faster. Then keeping it centered, coming down and pulling it up. And yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one, but I'll keep on trying, and thank you very much for joining me today.